Here's a little story about my favorite new card from Tarkir Dragonstorm. I've been messing around with Best of One Standard on Magic the Gathering Arena since the set released, trying to find a deck that is both fun and viable on the latter. The janky Boros Impact Tremors stuff I was running got me as far as Platinum, but I was losing more and more, so I decided to try something else. I was thinking about how cool it is that Overlord of the Hauntwoods' Everywhere tokens can be multiplied by things like Mondrak, Elsbeth, Doubling Season, and Ordrutak, and that it would be really cool to have this happen while Felidar Retreat was in play, such that it would multiply my land tokens, and then multiply the Cat Beast tokens for each one that entered. So I started mashing things together. With Overlords, of course I needed Beans, and with tokens, of course I needed Caretaker's Talent. Even better, level 2 Caretaker's Talents becomes Ramp when you have an Everywhere token in play. I mixed and matched rampy stuff and landed on Llanowar Elves, Grow from Ashes, and Heaped Harvests. Fun little synergy in sacrificing these to Mondrak, and had all of the basic land-fetching lands for even more landfall triggers. With so many landfall triggers, I had Bristly Bill early on, but it didn't really work out. Once I felt I was onto something, I spent some wildcards, briefly experimented with Nissa, but found it to be less useful than pure land drops, remembered loot existed, played a bit, and then decided loot worked better as a one-of, realized I had a copy of Rampage in Balox, and, as luck would have it, pulled another Elspeth from Mastery Pass packs. At this point, I finally cut my escape tunnels, terramorphic expanses, and evolving wilds, only keeping fabled passages, because my sequencing was getting tight enough that on-curve Beanses and Overlords became more valuable than landfall triggers, particularly when I needed untapped lands to cast my landfall payoffs. I knew I needed a lower mana curve, so slotted in Optimistic Scavengers for a little while, because of all the enchantments, you see, but soon realized they weren't really contributing all that much. I'd been playing as I tweaked, and at this point, I noticed that I was often getting taken out by flyers right as I was about to pop off, so I added Overlord of the Mistmoors. That worked out pretty well, but I was still having issues, so I made a few more cuts, finally removing the Doubling Seasons and Grow from the Ashes, and went to Scryfall to find a 1-mana card that would help me deal with flyers. My first thought was Bushwhack, because it would help me hit land drops early and deal with flyers later, once my Overlords became creatures. But it turned out there was a card that fit even better, a 1/1 for 1 with Reach, Death Touch, and Vigilance. Dragon Sniper. The way I see it, Dragon Sniper is exactly what an if you give me a chance to build a board, you're in trouble deck like this needs. It's a nuisance that opponents can't ignore, and so often trades up or draws out removal while I'm getting my engine going. On top of enabling jank in Best of One, it also seems like an excellent target for one-sided fight spells or first strike enchantments, particularly if you find ways to protect it. All in all, I think Dragon Sniper is my favorite new card in Tarkir Dragonstorm. Sorry, Dolphin and Pack Beasts.